Hello friends, welcome to this video. So in this video we will look at how to highlight source code inside your React.js application using a free syntax highlighting library inside specifically for React.js. And you can see on your screen, we have different languages support: JavaScript, Python, PHP, HTML, CSS. You can select from the drop down. You can even change the theme as well. And here in the text area, you can paste the source code. So as you paste the source code, you will see the line numbers will also show. And this is actually the theme. You can change various themes are supported by this module. So if you want to highlight source code, syntax highlighting library is there in React.js. I will show you step by step how to integrate this inside in the browser using React.js. So here you will paste your code. You will see the live preview of the source code with line numbers. Different themes are supported. You can change the language as well. If you want a different language, Python, Java. So you will see all these languages are supported: Ruby, HTML, each and every language. So the name of the library is React Syntax Highlighting. So if you just go to npm.js and just search for this package, React Syntax Highlighter, this is actually the component for React.js, and it has got almost 2 million downloads, weekly downloads. And this is actually the command npmi react syntax highlighter. And you can just see. So I will show you how to integrate this step by step. So just go to your command line and execute this command, react syntax highlighter. And apart from that, we are also using Bootstrap for constructing the user interface, and you will need these two packages: React Syntax Highlighter, this is the first package, then Bootstrap and React Bootstrap. This is specifically for React.js if you want to integrate Bootstrap. So just install these packages, and I've already done that. So now to get started, just make a simple app component, functional component in React.js. So I will make it. So first of all, what you need to do, we need to import some components from Bootstrap. So I will do it from React Bootstrap, which contains container, form, button, row, call. You also need to import the CDN file of Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is not necessary. We are just using it for building the user interface. So if you don't want to use it, it's not mandatory. So I've just included the CSS file of Bootstrap. So now inside this, guys, we will, in the JSX, we need to first of all declare some variables right here at the top. So the first thing we need to do, we need to declare some themes, some languages with sample code. So all the source code you will can find in the description. So what I will do, I will declare a array which will contain different languages. So with some sample code. So we declared this object here, example code. It has various properties: JavaScript, Python, Java, Ruby, C, HTML. You can include more languages. We included this sample code right here, and for each language. And after this, we need to have the variable or array which will store different themes. So each theme will have two properties. First is label, light doco, and actually the value, so the theme name, so which is will be doco. So in this way we have 5 themes. So you can have more themes, you can read the documentation. So we have, in this way you can store this, the languages, then we have the different themes it supports. And now we need to declare a array once again which will store all the languages that it will support. So I will declare this array. So you can include more languages if you want to support. So I've just included all the major languages: JavaScript, Python, Java, Ruby, C, HTML, CSS, PHP, TypeScript, JSON, Bash, SQL, XML. So after you do this, you can declare this right at the top. Just make it global. So I will simply declare it outside this app function. So you can declare it, make this as global variable so that it is accessible in all the locations. So just make it global. So after this, now we need to declare some state variables which will be required. So it will be, first of all, be having to keep track of which language the user has selected. For that, we need to store language, set language, and we will be using the useState hook, and the initial value will be JavaScript. It will be selected. Then we need to keep track of which theme the user selects. So for the theme as well, we need to have a variable for that. So useState, and we will be having Doco theme, and then we will basically keep track of which code the user will write in the text area, and for that also we will have example code dot javascript. So here we actually are referencing to these variables that we declared early on. So this is example code, it's an object, so we are accessing this value javascript dot syntax, and this doco is coming, you will see this is coming here. So after that we will need to declare some JSX. So right here in the return statement, we will have basically the container class or bootstrap container component. Need to wrap everything inside this. Give it basically a class name of my margin from the y direction, and then we will actually have a form element, form group. But before that, we just need to give it a heading, just to class name of text center, and we will basically have source code viewer. So if you just refresh the application, it will look something like this. Let me paste it in the main file, sorry, which is app.jsx, sorry. So you will see this heading here appearing. So it is saying that doco is not defined. Uh, I think it needs to be themes. Okay, themes, I think. Let me see what is the problem here. I think the themes. Okay, this doco thing, which will be we are using right here, it will be coming from the syntax highlighter library. So just make sure you need to import that. So this theme, so we have various themes available, which will be coming from this React syntax highlighter. React syntax highlighter, and inside that we need to go to the dist folder, and inside this ESM we have various styles HL, HLJS. So from that we need to import the different themes. One such theme is Doco. We are referencing that. So if you refresh, so it is saying solarized dark is not defined. So we need to basically use import all these themes that we are using right here. So one by one we can reference it. So now you will see this heading right in the center screen. This is coming because of we have written this. So after this heading, we just need to have a form where we allow the user to submit the code. We will have the row, we will have the column, and then we will have the form here. Then we will have the simple label. We will allow the user to simply select a programming language. This will be a simple drop down field, and we need to give it a control ID and a bootstrap class of margin bottom 3. So you will see this label appearing, and after this we need to have the control field, and this will be as the select field, and we need to give it the value, the state variable we have declared for language. So we will have this drop down field. No choices are there yet. For that we also need to attach a on change. So when we do select any language, this function will be executed, handle language change. So we just need to define this function right here. E parameter will be passed. We need to load all the choices because we have declared this array which is languages. So now we need to loop through each language which is there in this as an option. For doing this, we will actually use some JSX inside curly bracket. We will reference that array. We will map through all the choices. So each language, what we will do, we will simply create an option. We will provide a key which will be language, and the value will be also be language. So inside this option, we will basically say the actual language use this function character 0. We need to change it to the uppercase, and then we need to slice the first. So it will look something like this. You'll see all the choices. So I think this is form control. Languages map for each language. This option key, we just paste it. I think some typo mistake has happened. Okay, this needs to, we need to just surround this in the form control. We paste it. So now you will see all the choices appearing perfectly. So we have different choices available. This is the simple select field for basically selecting which language. So in similar terms, we need to do this for, we will have another column in which we will have the theme selection. So we will do the same thing, but this time for selecting the theme. So we have the same code. So, but this time we have selecting the theme right here. So the code remains the same. We are looping through this array that we declared for themes. If you see, we have different themes available. So we have a drop down right here, and we are basically looping through using the map operator. We are creating an option, and we actually need to define this function on change. So when we do select a theme, this function will execute. So we need to define this function again, handle theme change. E parameter will be passed automatically. So if you refresh now, you will see two select fields, one for theme, one for language. And now we need to declare the text area after this. So after this row, this will be in a different row. So after this row, we need to have another text area. So this will be form group. So we just need to give it a control ID, which will be code, and a class name of margin from the y direction. We will have basically the label, form label, which will be here the user will enter the code, and then the control field. So we will need to have this as a text area. So rows will be 6. The value here will be whatever is the code, and we'll also be binding an onChange event handler. So whenever you paste any source code, this function will execute handle code change. Now we need to define this function. So you will basically see this text area, and automatically this code is pasted because we actually have this useState variable, which is useState JavaScript. So by default, the example code .javascript is loaded. So this is actually the code that you see right here. So if you load the application, and then after this, we need to display the live preview. For doing this, just after this text area, we will display the syntax highlighted code in the div area. We'll basically give it a bootstrap class margin top 4 just to give some spacing from the top, and in the h5 we will have the highlighted code, and this time we'll be using this syntax highlighter, which will be coming from React syntax highlighter. So by default it looks something, it doesn't look something. We do need to provide the actual language for this. So this syntax highlighter, if you see, it is imported directly by inside React syntax highlighter. This so for this we need to surround this actual code. So syntax highlighter. So right here we need to, in double curly bracket, we just need to say the actual code. So the actual code will look something like this if you don't pass any options, but it does take some options as well. You can pass the show line numbers. So if you want to show the line numbers, you can toggle this option, and now you will also see the line numbers appearing in the code. If you have multiple lines of code, like let's suppose if I paste this code in the text area, let me paste. As you can see, I can't paste anything in the text area because we do need to basically write those functions first of all, and we can even directly apply any theme. So style attribute it takes, so we can apply the theme, and the language it takes, so we can directly attach the language variable. That's all. So that's all that you need to do right here. But now we need to come to those functions that we need to define. These three functions for changing the language, changing the theme, and changing the code. So these three functions will execute. So for first of all, changing the language, we just need to set the language, the hook function, e dot whatever is coming, e dot target dot value, and also set the code as well, which is example code e dot target dot. It's array, so that's why square brackets. And similarly for the theme change as well, whatever is the theme selected, we will update the state by using the set theme. So themes, and you need to use the find function right here to find out which theme is selected by the user using the label t dot label triple equal to e dot target. So which label that the user has selected. And then for the code change, we just need to set the code to whatever e dot target dot value. So that's all that we need to do. So if you refresh this in the text area, paste your code, and you will see automatically as you paste the code, the highlighting will start and it will show the live preview. You can change the theme as well. You will see that as you change the drop down, different themes are supported. So these are just the handfuls of themes that I showed you in this example. You can read more about it in the documentation. More themes are supported. So you can change the language as well. So much more languages are supported. I just shown you a very few languages in this example. So it's a great module. You can read the documentation, React syntax highlighter. So you can just see. So in this way, you can highlight any sort of code in any language with various themes in React.js. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and do check out my website as well, freemediatools.com, which contains thousands of free tools related to audio, video, and image. And I will be seeing you in the next video.